Hello and welcome to the latest Lukozer retro game review video. And for this one it is Rampage, which was released in 1989. I can't remember who released it. I think it was Activision. And it's a conversion of the Bally Midway arcade coin-op. So let's get a game underway, and it has all three of the creatures in the game, but I'm only playing as one. It is you can have up to 3 players simultaneously, and the idea of the game is to destroy all of the buildings on each of the levels. So I am playing as Ralph, who is the giant werewolf, and along with destroying each of the buildings, you can punch the other 2 monsters as well. You also get bonus points for attacking and destroying the enemy helicopters that are flying around. There are also enemy tanks that come along, which you can destroy pretty much everything. You get bonus health for eating people, along with eating various objects that you will find within the rooms. You take damage from being shot by the helicopters, the guns that the soldiers are firing, or if another monster hits you, like I done there to Lizzie. And if you fall off buildings, or if you eat stuff like, electrical appliances, things like that. So I mean, there's all kinds of ways that you can lose health, as I've just illustrated there by falling off a building that was collapsing. Now, I didn't have this game back in the day. I played the Atari ST version, and for once this is actually an Amiga game that isn't just a straight Atari ST copy. It actually has been programmed for the Amiga itself, which makes a welcome change. But I mean, this is one of those games where everybody knew it. It was certainly quite popular and quite a common sight in arcades all around the country at the time, and as a conversion it's not a bad job at all. I mean, sound effects wise it's pretty good. There's no music in the game at all, but then it didn't need it. The sound effects that are there are okay. They're not groundbreaking, but they do the job, so can't complain too much about sound effects. The control method is fine, and graphically it's fine. It's not a bad job done on the conversion at all. The drawbacks, because there are some, is that it is quite the novelty game, and once the novelty wears off, and believe me it will, you quickly get rather bored with it. It is just a case of there's no real variety between levels. Some levels are more difficult than others. Lizzie has been killed, so she turns into a human, and we can then eat her. And you gain health for doing that, because of course it's eating a person. The game itself is not particularly difficult. In fact, it's not even remotely difficult. It is quite straightforward to play, and it's not exactly a huge challenge. It's not overly difficult at all. The only real challenge is to not get bored while playing it, and to be honest, that's a challenge that I often don't succeed in. With the Atari ST version, I used to get quite bored playing that, and it's the same with this. It's just it doesn't have a great deal of longevity. And that's not to say it's a bad game. It certainly isn't a bad game. But well, as I say, once the novelty wears off, you find that there's not really a whole hell of a lot left. Well, at all, you know. So gravity is fine, sound effects are fine, but you know, it's questionable as to how long your interest is going to be held, because yeah, it's just it has very limited replayability. I mean, I would score this game. I would score it 6 because, I say, it's not that the game is bad, but it's not something that's going to keep me coming back for more, because it's just quite, well, it does get quite repetitive, and it gets to the stage where you find it repetitive quite quickly, and of course, once that's happened, you don't really feel any need or want to come back and play it anymore. Obviously, if you are playing it multiplayer, you know, with 2 or 3 players, that helps significantly in you know, giving it some more lastability. But it looks like I've just been. Oh no, I thought I'd been killed. Now I have been killed. So that's me finished. So he turns back into a human, who of course doesn't have his clothes on. So he then wanders off, basically with his hands over the crown jewels to try and maintain some level of dignity. But yeah, there you go. So that is Rampage, the arcade conversion. I say I'll score it. I'll give it 6.5 out of 10. It's, you know, it's a great game for 2 or 3 players on your own. It's quite repetitive and doesn't have anything to drag you or, you know, bring you back to play more. So yeah, a bit of a short one, this one, but there you go. So there you go, Rampage, 6.5 out of 10. The Amiga version is probably the best conversion out there, but really, if you do want to play this game, you're better off just getting the main ROM. Alright, so that brings this video to an end. Nice short one. We'll see you at the next one.